I have a confession to make. I like musicals. I know. I'm just as surprised as you. I was talking to a friend the other day about the Hamilton musical coming out on Disney Plus soon, and he asked me if I like musicals. Now, I told him that I don't like musicals, but I do like watching them, being in them, and even being in the backstage crew of them. And my friend pointed out something to me after I said that. If I like watching and even being in musicals, that means I like them. What a revelation. I'm utterly shocked. So anyway, since I realized that about myself, I might as well talk about Hamilton since it was just released on Disney Plus a few days ago. This isn't really a review of Hamilton as much as just talking about what I liked in it, kind of like my Jojo Rabbit video if you've seen that one. Also, I'm focusing on what I liked because it's hard to rate a musical like I would a movie or TV show, so I'll talk about mainly what I liked, some criticisms that the musical has received on Disney Plus, how other people think about it, and, of course, how I think about it. Hamilton is a great musical, I don't think there's many people who would disagree with that. It brings history to life, especially the story of Alexander Hamilton, who really wasn't well known to everyone before the musical. I mean, people knew him, sure, they learned about him in history class, but they didn't really know his full story, and this musical really brought his story to life. First off, I really like the music. I mean, duh, who doesn't? It had a really good variety and it was so catchy. It apparently took Lin-Manuel Miranda 6 years to write Hamilton, even while enlisting the help of someone who wrote the book the Hamilton musical was inspired by to get like the historical events straight. So 6 years, that's incredible. I've always respected people who write musicals because it seems like so much work. Writing one song alone takes time, but a musical, which has dozens of songs, seems like it takes so much more time and effort. A funny thing is, I was going to see Hamilton in DC sometime this summer actually, but it got canceled a long time ago along with pretty much everything else because of coronavirus. So, since I couldn't see Hamilton as a live theater production, this was pretty much just as good, especially since it had the original cast. This one didn't have, I don't think, any of the original cast members, but it still would have been good. Even after seeing the musical for the first time on Disney Plus, I do still want to see it in a theater sometime. You just can't beat the environment of seeing something in a theater with a bunch of other audience members, One thing that I think is really cool about Hamilton is how it changed Broadway so much. While some other musicals did bits and pieces of Hamilton did, this musical is truly unique, and I can see its legacy impacting the future for Broadway for years to come, honestly. Hamilton also brought a diverse cast and diverse types of music to Broadway, which is great. It started the careers of some very talented people and made Lin-Manuel Miranda pretty much a household name. And I can say that is rightfully so after watching the complete musical. I mean, I've seen parts of Hamilton before and a few of the biggest songs, but I haven't seen the full story before. It was great seeing the full musical, especially since I liked almost all of the songs. Normally in a musical, I think there are some weak parts, but Hamilton was solid for the whole show, in my opinion. There were only a few songs I didn't like a ton, but in all honesty, they weren't that bad. They were far and few between, and, like I said, it's just a few, like maybe 3 or 4, so there's a ton, so that's just a few. One thing that I've seen a lot of people use to criticize Hamilton as it is on Disney Plus is how it just isn't the same as watching a live performance. Sure, it isn't the same, but it's just impossible to replicate a live theater show in a recording. You just can't do it. For example, the camera work in Hamilton is really good, but it's very main character centered. Like, some audience members like watching some stuff going on in the background for a little, or at least I do, and you can't really do that when a cameraman is always choosing what you can look at. All in all, the recording is captured well, and I don't want to take away from that by criticizing it for not doing something that's honestly impossible to do, making it feel like a theatrical production. One thing that confused me at first when Disney announced Hamilton that was coming to Disney Plus was them marketing it as Hamafilm. At first it made it sound like it was an actual movie and not a recording of one of Hamilton's performances. Like, I thought it wouldn't be like on a stage, it would have like an actual set with a movie, but, I wasn't too bothered by it turning out to not be that, because I saw in an interview before watching it on Disney Plus, I think Lin-Manuel Miranda was in it, and he said it was just a recording of a play, not an actual movie. So that was fine. I wasn't upset by it, but I could see someone who didn't know that beforehand and thought it would be like that as a movie, they'd be upset. But it didn't bother me. Well, anyway, I really liked Hamilton on Disney Plus. It was great. It had its flaws, but it really started a pathway that led to more diversity in Broadway, both in cast members and even types of music. I know it's different for me to do musicals on my channel, talk about musicals, but I had a lot of fun just talking about Hamilton for a little while. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, too. So, yeah, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video because it would really mean a lot. Make sure to tell me if there are any movies or shows you'd like to see me review next, and I'll see you in the next video.
My name is Alexander Hamilton. And there's a million things I haven't done. But just you wait, just you